I thought it was like peachy, but it just says Peach Stand Rambler.
I'm really surprised because you never drink beer.
You want to try it?
I've had it. It sucks. No. I had it.
You don't like it?
It sucks.
Why?
It's
It's just light.
It's not the light beer, but it's supposed to be with peach or pumpkin.
I don't know if it's supposed to be peach because
Let's see that.
it doesn't taste like peach.
I don't know. It's too. I don't want to say it's girly, but it's too seasonal. There's fall seasonal beers that tend to put pumpkin stuff in there. They'll put peach is kind of new.
Have you had pumpkin beer?
Yes.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. I like traditional stuff. I mean, I don't really drink beer anymore, but I'm a big fan of like Mexican beers because they have a little bit like a lime kind of taste to it while having full flavor. And then every once in a while, I'll drink like an IPA with a burger or something. But apart from that, I don't do beer anymore. Tum Tum can't handle it anymore.
The old Tum Tum can't.
The old Tum Tum can't handle it anymore. And that's everybody. Everybody, all of my friends, they've all wandered away from beer. Father Time gets us all. I've been listening. I was listening to Rogan today, and he had Eddie Bravo on there, he's a jiu-jitsu instructor, and Eddie is 52, Joe's 55, I think, and they were all talking. Now, keep in mind, both are athletic human beings who take care of themselves, take supplements like testosterone replacement therapy, all that stuff.
Right.
And they were both saying how something happens when you remember how some people would say like something happens when you turn 30 as a guy, metabolism slows down, you start losing your hair, live a little more of a sedentary kind of lifestyle. They were talking about like the 50 is the next benchmark where at 50,
you notice it.
Well, they say at 50, your your body starts giving out.
Mine's already doing that.
No, it's not. The only reason you're complaining is because you really push yourself really hard. I'm really proud of you, but you're really pushing yourself really hard when you work out. So because you're doing that, it's creating this extra, like you were doing butterflies with dumbbells on the bench yesterday. And I do that all the time and it doesn't bother me, but I've also been doing it for a very long time that my body's like, my rotator cuff has been like acclimated to it versus.
You think I went too hard?
I don't think you went too hard.
Too fast.
I think you're definitely accelerating at a fast pace. I think personally, if it was me, with certain stuff like your rotator cuff, it's very easy to damage it. Biceps, you don't have to, worry about it. Your back muscles, you don't have to, as long as you get good form. But that rotator cuff, if I were you, because you've never done stuff like that before, you've done like some maybe resistance bands, but still not even that kind of movement. I would have done like ultra light dumbbells, but just like higher repetition. So it just builds up and builds up.
I've been doing like 10s. But the thing is, I've been doing the same exercise for like months. So I don't know why it just started. Maybe because I went up in weight.
Maybe you went up in weight. Sometimes it's, do you do high repetition and then low weight? Or do you feel like you do medium weight and then?
I feel like I do medium weight and like 12 reps.
Okay, so I think you're going. I think that's too much along like the medium side. I think if I was me, I would have gone lighter weight, but higher the reps. So instead of doing 12s, I would have done like 20. You know what I mean? And then build up your weight to it. But
well, I ruined my body.
You didn't ruin it. I think you
Well, so do you think I should stop?
I would
certain exercises.
I think if just strictly towards your rotator cuff, I would just avoid that. So butterflies are basically the only thing.
And the ones where you go up and
down.
You're
like doing that as well for your deltoids?
I think that's what did it. Because that when it was probably like a week ago when I was.
And you did that with 10s, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so listen to me.
I couldn't even do the 15s. It was too hard.
I am 220 pounds, and I would say I have enough muscle on my body, and I do that same exact workout that you just showed. I use 15-pound dumbbells.
Only hard.
Only 5
I think
more
that's
than
what
you.
messed me up.
And I shoot a 70-pound bow, so meaning my rotator cuff is pretty dang strong in terms of like the way I kind of live my lifestyle. And you should not be doing that at that poundage.
Weight.
You should be doing that at 5, but do it slow and do many.
Well, so that was one exercise. I was like, I'm gonna just not do that for a little bit. specifically the one where you put your arms. What is it called? Up and down.
Yeah, it's when
That's I think what
to describe it. You
up.
hold it at the dumbbells at your side. You're standing and you raise them at your sides all the way up to.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's a hard one.
Yeah. It's a hard one. It's a great one to build your deltoids. But it's stuff like that. It's a very vulnerable.
What are deltoids? Like
well, your shoulders.
Here.
Yeah, delts on your shoulders.
I don't know if I want. Well,
you're not gonna bulk up. Stop being afraid of it. Unless you're gonna start taking supplements, you're not gonna bulk up.
Maybe I.
And in fact, even if you did take supplements, you're not gonna bulk up. Your body is not created to bulk up like that.
Unless you take extra measures to do it.
Yeah, you're not gonna. You have this crazy fear about.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of girls have that fear because we see guys working out and they get so. You just get big.
Well, I think it's just a lack of education about that thing.
It is, yeah. For me, that's exactly what it was. I only stuck to running my whole life because I was like, I don't want to.
And even on top of that, it's not only the hormone that's running through your body that is actually going to build that muscle like that, but it has so much to do with genetics. Like with me, I feel like I have some pretty decent biceps and triceps and deltoids. And even with that, I don't think I'm doing anything special. I eat one meal a day, which technically I should be in a caloric deficit, meaning like I should be burning off muscle mass, not fat. I don't do any kind of crazy strenuous. I do upper body twice a week. And it just happens. Like they get defined. And that's strictly because of genetics. Not because my dad was, but it's something for my body frame. It just fills out. Versus I know other people who are truly trying to get good arms, and it's really difficult for them because with whatever genetics got them. Other people have weak knees, so they can't do cardio. You know what I mean? So other people,
it's just you have to figure out.
You play the cards that were dealt you. That's it. And with girls, it's not part of your guys' genetics unless you take some kind of supplement to say, okay, we're gonna introduce. Like, I'm pretty sure if you got on testosterone, sure, you're gonna start getting some wide shoulders and
as well as hair.
Yeah,
on my
chest and on over your lip
and mustache.
So it's just, don't be afraid of it.
Oh, I think I'm definitely at a point where now I don't feel that way.
And here's the great part: at any point, if you're like look in the mirror, be like, "Uh-oh, my shoulders are a little too broad."
Stop.
You just stop for a week, and then you'll be back to where you started.
Seriously, yeah.
So there's nothing to be worried about.
Yeah, I think it was. You're right. Just the lack of education for me. I was always told like, "Oh, girls just need to do cardio."
But even cardio. Sorry to interrupt. But even cardio,
cardio's not enough.
Well, the most I lose my, like, if I was to be like, oh, I need to like lean out a little bit. It's not cardio. Cardio, I only do it just for like the endurance and like mental clarity. If it comes to like fat burning, it's always doing muscle.
Yeah.
It's always doing muscle.
Always.
In fact,
especially legs.
If you really want to burn it, I was going to say do legs and then do back stuff. So like here's another great one for you. Reverse butterfly. So you lay on a 45-degree bench and then you take the light dumbbells and you pull them back.
That's what I was doing yesterday.
You don't put pressure on your rotator cuff. You put pressure on your back. But that's a really good one because if you think about it, when you go get your body fat percentage checked, for the most part, our legs are leanest. They're the strongest muscle group. Then you have the belly fat and then maybe a little bit in the arms if they're not toned, but then the rest of it's on your back. So if you can strengthen your back, you're going to significantly decrease your body fat percentage.
That's interesting.
What were we going to say? I interrupted you.
I don't know. You
said, by the way.
I really like the art on your table.
You like that? So.
What is it called? What is this piece called?
You've heard of Michelangelo discovers David. Michelangelo discovers David. Is that the one? Or no, exposes David.
When he sculpted?
No. I think there's sculpture in Florence, and it's called Michelangelo. I think is exposing. Let me Google it real quick.
I would say this is more like a. What's his name? Andrew Pollock. Little like, just splatter here and there.
There was a David exposes Goliath statue.
I don't know.
So David of Michelangelo. No, hold on a second. David of Michelangelo. There it is. That's the one where.
What is this about exposing though?
So it's David, like David and Goliath, And then Michelangelo, this is the naked David.
That's what I was talking about, the sculpture.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Michelangelo.
Is it because he's exposed?
Yeah. Well, so David is a masterpiece of the Renaissance sculpture created in marble between 1501 and 1504 by artist. I don't know. Ever heard of Michelangelo?
David is it Michelangelo or Michelangelo?
Michelangelo. I don't really say Michelangelo. It's a 17-foot tall marble statue, a biblical figure, David in Florence. That's the one I was talking about. So it's David of Michelangelo. It's not David exposes Michelangelo.
Yeah, you're just thinking because he's exposed. Yeah. That was the...
So
you're comparing this to David.
You don't see it?
The sculpture.
You don't see it.
Michelangelo.
I'm not saying it's an exact replica. I'm just saying it's the essence of it.
The essence. You bottled up whatever he was feeling in the moment, the emotion, the imagination.
I feel like you don't know art. So I did your makeup last week, and I feel like there's not enough credit to be due because I don't think you know art.
Listen.
I wasn't going to do the way you do makeup. Why would I do that? You could have done it all yourself.
Well... You don't have to go to such an extreme where you're doing lip liner on me that is black.
First of all, what do you have an issue with the black lip liner?
Because you used eyeliner as lip liner.
So
that's my first issue.
You want to follow the patriarchy and just use what you're supposed to be using?
Yeah.
Do you know why David
and then you used
Michelangelo,
eye primer
and everybody else, Da Vinci, why they have all been so successful is because they didn't take the path that was most traveled. They didn't stay within the rules of the palette. They went outside of that.
Well, you definitely did that.
Yeah, I'm basically a modern day Michelangelo.
If there was a need for Halloween makeup,
okay,
right now in the area,
we're getting there. It's September.
You would be excellent at it. You'd be the guy. Okay. So should we start a Mr. Bill does your Halloween makeup tutorials?
Do you feel I'm not good enough to start a makeup channel?
Yeah. I feel like...
By the way, I got quite a bit of gals writing me like, stick to building, or I can't believe...
I know. When I posted my stories, I had people saying, well, Halloween's coming up. You can, just do your makeup like that.
Interesting. All those people don't know makeup.
Apparently not.
Wow. Well,
you really got that like wingtip eyeliner going.
I was actually a little bit offended you didn't go pick up the kids right after that.
I literally washed it off 5 seconds later. It was a lip liner for me.
Did you think I was going to go for a different look? Or did you get exactly what you thought I would do?
No, you were a little bit more extreme than I thought you were going to be.
I don't know. I feel like it was you.
It was me. And I have now photos and videos.
Do you know how blushed you look? You look so...
Yeah, all the way down from my eyes to my chin.
Where are you supposed to blush?
Right here. Don't you see that little soft glow?
No, hold on a second. Have you ever said something embarrassing in front of a group of people? And then is that you just got a little bit of
blush right here?
No, what are you, an anime character? It goes all the way.
Just right here, these little circles.
Everybody's face turns into a tomato.
No.
No?
But that's the actual blush.
Mm-hmm.
When you want to portray the look of a blush, you just put it right here on your...
See, with me is you don't portray, you go full character.
You know what they used to do back in the day? They used to pinch right here to make that like look aggravate of blush. Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Why is blush such to a certain group of people, why is it established as an attractive character trait? I
think it's the only reason people like it. It's the same as like using bronzer. It creates a like contour. You have a contrast in your face. You're not just bland white or whatever skin tone. Like if it's whatever it is, you're creating this contrast. And so you have a little bit of like either pink or like I use contour and blush. So you're creating like you have your skin tone, but then you're creating a little bit of like contrast. And so it breaks it up and it makes your face look a little bit more defined.
2 words, contour and contrast. I don't know what you just said.
Contour?
And what that means. Yes.
It defines your face. So if I don't put like bronzer on and blush, my face just looks blah.
Okay, let me ask you this. Are all of these in an effort to just create like higher cheekbones and facial definition?
It's contour.
So then why don't we just say facial structure?
Oh, I said definition. It defines like your face better. Yes, that's exactly it.
Because you're saying like I'm trying to achieve contour and contrast, and I'm like, why don't you just say you want a chiseled face?
That's what it is. And then some people put it like on their chin and then like up here, so it creates, you're like creating this illusion of definition.
So look, right now we have a few lights in this room coming out the sides,
which probably aren't that flattering.
No, their amount of contour and collusion contrast that's given off. You have the most chiseled
compare and contrast
face I've ever seen. Why don't you just walk around the light
shadows? It's
shadows.
It's like creating like shadows. That's basically it.
So it's art. Hilarious. It's really like art. It's not like art because you guys are trying to make yourself look the way you really aren't.
It's art because then you create like even on the eyeshadow you create.
Have you ever seen that
palette on your eye and then the eyeliner? It's such an art.
Have you seen? Do you remember actually? It was maybe 20 years ago, 15 to 20 years ago, Lion King had their play. The movie Lion King.
Like the Broadway show?
Broadway show. And it's everybody, like humans are dressed up.
Yes.
In a form of...
Was it that long ago? I feel like they still do it.
Well, I'm sure it's a continuing, but it came out and it was really big like 15, 20 years ago. Maybe 15. And with that, it's adult humans that are dressing up as... felines and
felines or felines
felines am I
felines?
Do you ever think like you're like, oh, I'm gonna use that word one day and then you
were close, babe. You were really close.
So felines, the animal kingdom,
cats.
which is an animal category of cats.
You were so close.
Oh man,
darn. Next one, was that your word of the day?
No, it wasn't. Unfortunately, but the felines, so they're dressing up like these cat characters, but they're doing it very like not obnoxiously. They're doing a few feathers and subtle. A few things, and then everything else is makeup. That I think is art, because then you can take a picture of any of those people and you go like you can hang that on the wall and be like, this is a person acting silly. That is art. I think
it's art because you're creating this look and achieving a certain. Using color and oh my gosh, I'm gonna sneeze. 3, 2. Oh, I heard if you say grapefruit. Okay. Grapefruit or banana.
Banana too.
I hope Kyle gets a picture of me sneezing.
We're gonna Photoshop that picture so bad.
With my mouth open.
You will obviously.
My allergies are coming back, man. They're coming back strong. And today is really windy. So everything's like getting blown.
Today's the first day I'm wearing pants. I know. When I'm working out there. I was telling Kyle.
Because usually you don't wear pants. You just wear nothing.
Shorts. Oh. I look like that scene of Walter White from Breaking Bad where he's in his whitey tighties and an untucked shirt with a pistol in the desert.
Just in the desert.
That's the way I work.
Just from the bottom down.
Bottom down.
Gotta be.
I'm a bottom down kind of guy. What was I saying?
About the pants?
Yeah, I was actually watching the forecast weather for the last couple of days. Extremely excited for today because starting today.
What is the high of today?
It was like 85, 86.
That's nice.
But then it's like that for like 10 days straight.
Ooh,
and it fluctuates.
And the lows are they're like 40s finally.
50s,
If you guys aren't familiar, it's been 105 for the last like
2
months. Yeah. Almost every day, 95 or above usually. It's been rough, and it's September. What is today? 8th.
Yes.
That's wild.
I'm the fact checker.
We are over it. It's been so hot and sweaty. Does not feel like fall. I can't buy anything pumpkin yet because it's still so hot. We're still like swimming. We're still.
Yeah, we're going camping this
weekend. We're going camping.
It's. I've always said this about Idaho, and I didn't grow up here. I've only lived here for 10 years, but since I've been married to you. It's that Idaho is one place that you get all 4 extremes of the weather.
All the seasons.
All the seasons, yes. And then what ends up happening is you're anticipating the next season because you're so fed up with it.
Yeah.
Winters, great. They're cold, plenty of time to go skiing, plenty of snow. And then you're done because you're like, I'm done how cold it is. Let's get a little bit of nicer weather. And then spring comes about and you're like, this is great. Let's get it warmed up some more because I would love to. And then it warms up, and then it goes scorching hot for 2 months straight. Your AC's barely
or like
keeping
4
up.
here.
For what, 4 months?
Oh yeah, I feel like it's hot longer than 2 months here.
And then after that, you're like, I need to get out of it. You get a quick, dip in the toe in the water of fall, and then the foliage comes out. And then after that, you're like,
you're waiting to use that one too.
Let's go skiing. I don't care about pumpkin patches.
See, the only downside to getting the 4 seasons is I personally feel like fall lasts for like 2 weeks. It's very annoying.
It's very short, yes.
And then spring is a very cold spring, and then it just like it goes from like 60 2 days of like 75, and then it's like 100. And I don't like that. And then I would wish fall was a little bit longer because I love those like 75-degree days, and then it's like chilly in the evening, and you put on a sweater.
Who's that chick on the radio?
Maybe a little cashmere.
Martha something.
It's got to be a little, little mustard or like rust color, and you just like sit outside.
Why can't you do that like in the wintertime?
Because it's freezing.
Put 2 of those cute
You
sweaters on.
have to put like a freaking parka.
It's hilarious that you describe the fun by just sitting outside in a particular colored sweater.
Yes, it's
while
fun.
there is leaves, and that is it. Like, how often are you going to do that?
It's a vibe.
But how often do you do that?
It's not even about sitting out. It's just that feeling of it's like warm during the day, but then it gets a little bit chilly at night, and it's just something. I guess there's something cozy about
Hey babe,
it.
check this out.
Winter's not cozy because you're just cold all day long.
As hot as the outside gets, I've had the AC running so full blast that you've been
in a sweater, yeah.
In a sweater and a blanket while it's 105 degrees
outside.
But you never have done that. That's the thing, is you, of all the people, don't go and be like, it's not like dinner, like after dinner, you're like, I'm going to go outside in a blanket and just drink a cup of tea. Cozy. Like, you don't do that.
I want to be able to do that.
I know you want to be able to.
I like the idea of it.
Yes, and you never do it.
It sucks that I can't do it. Okay?
But you also will never go. I've never seen you be like, I'm going to go and drink this outside.
It's just chilly enough where I just have to put a little
now,
sweater
on the other
cardigan.
hand, when it rains, I'm all about going outside and just sitting and watching the rain.
Yeah.
So.
And when it snows, you sit in the hot tub.
I sit in the hot tub because I actually truly enjoy the vibe. You don't enjoy the vibe. You like the idea of the vibe, but you're not in the vibe. So how dare you try to prolong spring and fall?
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Another one's coming.
Okay. Get it out of your system.
September. That's when the allergies start.
And that's why you want fall.
Yeah.
Is you want 3 months of what you're doing right here.
It's interesting because the minute the wind like started blowing, that's like it for me.
Yeah.
It's done.
You and Kyle are the same way.
Yeah.
Like a little
Spring
gust of wind.
I know. All of a sudden,
guys,
like,
you guys are different than when you guys came in.
Yeah. It's crazy. Because then it's like, I feel like hope people don't think I'm sick.
Do you guys, okay, well, here's my question. Because you guys are people with seasonal allergies, obviously they have a better sense of the pollen and whatever in the air. Do you guys have a better sense of smell?
My sense of smell is insane.
Right, but you're a girl also, and naturally girls have a better sense of smell than guys.
And I don't know which one it is. I don't know if it's because I'm a girl and my sense of smell is more heightened, or it's because everything's like always getting cleared out. Yeah. I will say my sense of smell is insane. When I'm pregnant, I'm like a superhero. Sure. That is my super strength.
But you've done that
my
3
super
times.
Power.
You've done that 3 times. You've been pregnant 3 times.
I know.
So it's fine.
It's fine.
Kyle, how's your sense of smell?
I don't think it's that good.
It's not impressive. No, I don't think so. Also,
I think
so must be.
You asked me like there's gasoline or something, and you're like, "Do you smell that? Like it smells like."
That sounds very important.
I'm like, no,
He's like, I don't know. You don't have a very good sense of smell.
I have the worst sense of smell, but I don't care. Like, it's not like it's a thing that
I wish mine wasn't that good because I can smell like everybody's breath. I could smell like everything. I can smell if you fart in here, I can smell it 2 days later. And I have.
Okay.
There was one time I walked in the office. I'm like, did you fart in here? You're like, yeah, yesterday. And I'm like, what?
You need to figure out how to dampen those.
I don't know.
But also,
do I need to like stick something up there?
Also, if your sinuses are swelling up because of an allergy,
wouldn't I have a worse sense of smell?
That's my theory.
Like when you're sick, you
Yes,
have a very bad sense of smell.
That's my theory as well.
I don't know. I'm hoping with like maybe with allergies I have a worse, like my sense of smell isn't that great, but on a daily basis it is like a superpower. That's how crazy my sense of smell is. It's up to
you to protect our family from a gas leak, because obviously from Kyle's
I can
story,
smell everything,
if there's ever a gas leak, I would be the last one to know about it.
I will walk in the house and be like, something smells weird, and it's like if we like go camping or something, it's like the trash or something weird like that, or like if we didn't do the garbage disposal all the way or something, I could smell it immediately.
Yeah, I don't want to live that kind of lifestyle.
I don't like it. It's just a burden I have to bear.
You could always try, not often, and don't be alarmed when I say it, but like cocaine, right? So like when you snort it, it obviously goes into your nostrils.
That probably helps a little.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's worth a shot, right?
It's a way to desensitize that area.
I will say, yeah, I didn't have allergies ever as a kid, ever as like a teenager. My allergies started when I was probably in my early 20s. Isn't that wild? Like, how does that happen?
That's interesting. Kyle, have you always had yours?
Yeah.
Always had. Yeah.
My little brothers have always had him. I never did. It was just this weird thing that happened.
I'm trying to remember if there's a thing of like, is there an adult onset of like asthma? Because I know there's kids who have asthma.
I don't know about asthma, but I have heard allergies. That's actually not that uncommon for people to develop them as they age.
I always thought as you get older, you
grow out of it. Yeah.
Them,
no,
anything.
I think seasonal allergies are different though, because maybe the weather the climate has changed a little here, so that I developed it because of like the grass or the pollen, whatever, the way it's changed.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I don't know.
Well, you're lucky.
I am very lucky, but I also can't drink beer. So there you go. I have my own cross to bear.
I actually kind of like this.
Do you like that? I'm very impressed.
I like that it's not sweet, but it's got like a little bit of like a peachy, some kind of fruity flavor in there.
Are you going to get into whiskey now after this?
No, the whiskey's too hard. Maybe it's the smell for me. Like I said, something about it is like too, harsh.
So when you and I were in Greece for our anniversary, apparently in Greece, in Europe in general, it's very difficult to get a nice bourbon.
Why do you think that is?
Well, Kyle was talking about it's probably the tariffs, the import tariffs, right, Kyle?
Oh, it's too expensive.
Yeah. So they'll get like large production labels like Jack Daniel's. You can get that.
Bourbon.
No, whiskeys, not bourbons are very hard to find.
They had more Scotch. Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Scotch is regularly available.
I don't know anything about it, but I remember seeing Scotch.
And I've had to drink Scotch the whole time that I was there.
You had to.
I didn't.
You were forced. It was forced. So annoying.
I did not enjoy it.
Forced.
I did not enjoy Scotch, and I can't.
What's the difference? What's the taste difference?
It's just a flavor. It's like saying what's the difference between red, white, and white wine. How do you describe it?
Well, red is more. Yeah, I guess it is hard to describe. So, I would say white is usually feels lighter.
Let me try to describe it, and then I'll see how Kyle describes it, because Kyle actually has a legit like palate towards like these kind of things. So Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong. So I would describe a few real tasting notes that I've seen described on like bourbons is, and I swear like every bourbon snob is like
they say
screaming.
The same thing.
Well,
they're gonna scream at you. Yeah.
Is that they have tastes of like vanilla and like these like warm kind of tones, but then Scotch has more of these like floral, lighter kind of tasting notes. Am I correct?
Yeah. I mean, Scotch has to be a 51% like a grain, so you're gonna get whatever flavors come from that grain. If you're using a wheat, you might get like lighter, almost fruitier notes in there. If you're doing like a barley, probably like darker, like almost like tobacco.
Interesting.
Different barrels too. So bourbon, you have like the charred American oak barrels. So that's where a lot of that like warmth comes from, is the barrel.
That was gonna say, it was like there's a very distinct sense of warmth that you get from a bourbon.
Does it seem smoother?
To me, it does. What about you?
Probably because you're used to it.
Bourbon?
Yeah. What's smoother, bourbon or scotch?
I mean, they're just different. Like, the scotches are smokier.
You don't like that as much?
I don't know. I just don't know.
You just didn't like the ones that you had.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've had.
I'm sure you can get good ones.
Well,
it's just I've
had good ones. I'm just not a scotch person.
Yeah.
I like the warmth of a bourbon.
The warmth.
They taste sweeter and warmer.
I think in general, I feel like when we were in Greece, everybody's drinking wine. You don't see a lot of people drinking cocktails. Every once in a while, or they had like
the cocktails suck too.
Yeah, the cocktails weren't that great.
No.
Which I actually was kind of expecting it because I was like, it's like wine country. They have all these wine vineyards everywhere. They're known for that, so people are drinking the wine. And white wine, I think, is a lot more popular in Greece than red wine because of the way I think they grow the grapes. I don't know if it's because it's warmer. Yeah, I did notice that they had or white wine a lot more readily available than red wine. But the cocktails weren't my fave.
Huh. Well,
it's an American thing, maybe.
Yeah. I remember asking them for ice.
Ice isn't a big thing either.
I was like, can I have a double gin and tonic, lots of ice? And
it was like one ice cube.
There was 2 at most, just floating, halfway melted on top.
Already melted, yeah.
I was like, hey, man, I don't know what's your levels of 0, 1, and a lot.
A lot. That's a lot because they probably start with nothing.
Yeah. We can just tell them we put some in there, but it melted, so it should be cold.
I feel like we get the opposite. It's like all ice, and like the drink is like this
so much so that when you go to Starbucks, you have to tell them like, "Hey, light ice."
Yeah, but even like cocktails, I feel like when you get a cocktail, it's like filled to the brim, and then your actual cocktail is like this, like a fourth of a cup.
Because then you know it's always 100% ice cold.
Ice cold, yeah. Mm-hmm. You just have to order like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing in it.
Well, sounds like a great time to me.
A great time.
Yeah. How are you doing on time? I know you said you got a
great party.
Short day today.
Yeah.
Do you need to get
cut it short? Yeah, here in a minute.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your education on the scotches. That was interesting, and the makeup tutorial. If you guys haven't seen the video, it's actually pretty funny. It's on Mr. Build It's YouTube channel. He does my makeup after he builds me a vanity. Really sweet. The makeup, I was like freaking out the whole time. Were you really?
I was like, you're gonna bug me in the eye because you took the mascara and you were like, just.
Aren't you supposed to do that? Aren't you supposed to clean it up?
Yeah, but you have to like do it like really light. You know when somebody else is doing it on you, you're like.
It's like when somebody else is driving and they take too long to brake. Too late to brake.
Yeah, you're just kind of like, whoa, yeah. And I was like, you're gonna stab me in the eye. You're gonna stab me in the eye.
Nah, you're fine.
I was fine.
You're fine.
My makeup was great.
And I took some pictures. You got both of your eyes. Yeah. It's great.
My lips are back to normal.
Yep.
It's good.
See, no harm, no foul. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening.
Did you say no harm, no foul?
No harm, no foul. Wow, what did I say? No harm.
No harm, no foul.
All right. Well, I know you got to get going. Sorry, guys. Today's going to be a short episode.
Little shorty.
Hopefully, this is a quick one for your commute anywhere you're driving. We'll tune in next week.
Yeah, tune in next week.
We'll give you guys a nice long one.
A nice long one. All right. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.